Welcome back to yet another edition of the Yearly Apex. Hey, we're keeping the trend going, alive and well. And on today's episode, Rob, we have both picked the best pairing of a road somewhere in the world and a car to drive on that road somewhere in the world.
I'm stoked for this one, Dylan. I'm stoked.
We have been talking about this one for a while, so why don't I let you lead off and just opening arguments to start off with, right? What road did you pick? Where is it? Maybe a little bit about it. And then what car and why were those the best pairing? And then I'll go and then we'll get the debate going.
All right. Well, I'm gonna rewind that a little bit because I think the audience deserves to know that this is close to our hearts because this is our origin story.
This is our origin story.
This is our origin story. Dylan and I met at this huge car event at Tail of the Dragon, which is in North Carolina, near Asheville, called Miatas at the Gap, and that's the first time we met.
You bet.
Where we bonded over some some car building habits and whatnot. No, it's toge and back roads and all that. That is our jam for sure.
Oh yeah, and for those of you that might not be aware, I mean, I feel like most people, especially in the States, know of Tail of the Dragon. It is on many, top 10 best roads to drive. Not only in the country, but in the world. It makes a lot of those lists.
Yeah,
and
it's definitely a special place. Definitely a special road.
For sure.
And close to our hearts. It's so much fun.
Absolutely.
Out on the back roads. And another term, we'll hear us say toge, which I think almost the whole car community knows at this point, but comes from Japan and is synonymous with drifting and mountain roads, and just like fast driving on mountain roads,
fast driving through the twisties
through Mount Fuji, if you ever seen Initial D, that type of thing. So,
oh yeah,
hell yeah. All right, so we both know Tail of the Dragon well. We both know the Carolinas well, the Smoky Mountain roads.
And this is really where the inspiration of this segment came in.
Exactly. So we want to combine what's the best road, the best car, the dream drive, the ultimate drive. In my mind, not that I've ever driven these roads in Europe, but in my mind, it's the European passes. Those are the cars cemented in my mind as ultimate roads, right?
Uh-oh, did we choose the same thing?
No way. All right, so
okay.
That's where I'm starting, right? But
yep.
I think one of the pitfalls of those roads is especially Stelvia Pass, right? Which is probably the most famous road in Europe. Stelvia is in Italy. It's all hairpins, and it's also full of traffic because every cyclist wants to ride it, every motorcyclist wants to ride, etc. And it's all super tight hairpins on a very tight road with traffic, and hairpins are cool when you're playing dirt rally and there's no traffic and you can just handbrake, turn, reverse entry, Scandinavian flick into every
hit
turn.
Reset. And then hit reset.
Yeah, and then hit reset when you crash 9 times out of 10. But in the real world, the super tight hairpins are not that fun because you're coming down to a crawl. It's, I don't know. So I was wanted to find a road to combine that. Combine the European pass, but with a bit more variety.
Okay.
I also love warm places, so I kind of ruled out Switzerland,
Okay.
I mean, there are some warm days, but... So where I came to was, and I'm going to butcher this pronunciation, was Eja Perniccio. I don't know.
Perniccio?
North 260. North 260 in Spain.
In Spain.
So it's 2 hours north of Barcelona, 2 hours north drive, and it is spectacular. I'm gonna send you some photos of this road. It is something else. It's got the hairpins, right? But it's also got like sweepers. It's got kind of like the back and forth undulation, some camber to the turns. That's one thing that if you've never been on like a good kind of, toge road, like when they pave those roads, they build camber into the turns, and it's the wildest thing to like experience on the street. Cause like normally, at least in Pennsylvania, that, they don't do that. And, it's cool. It's cool because you can carry a lot of speed through them. So here's the map that everyone will be able to see. And I mean, obviously, immediately, it's incredible. Dylan, check that out on Facebook.
All right, I'm coming.
It's a beautiful road. And you're also in Spain, right? Like, it's warm. You got this great, like, pine foresty, kind of almost California like climate, bit less desert, but beautiful. And this is cheating because, it's supposed to be one road, but there's also a ton of other roads, which is also my favorite thing. Because when I go to Tail of Dragon, it's like, that's fun. But then there's so many other roads to drive down there. There's another road called,
I think I see one.
LV5134. I don't know if it has an actual name. It looks incredible. It looks even better. And it's a smaller, tighter road, but it's like, a little rough, but I bet there's no traffic on this road. Incredible views. And you can just rip it. The North 260 Ahab Parachio whatever is like 15 kilometers, and this one's like 40 kilometers long. See, it's a nice full long drive.
Yeah. Okay. I got it. So that's your road. Deep cuts, as always. I expected you to come up with a band that I didn't know the name of, and this is the new hot thing, I'm sure. But yeah, no, cool. Okay, cool. Yep, I love these views. This is really nice. I'm picking up what you're putting down. So, what car, Rob, did you pair with this fine
Wait, I want
road?
your road first. I want your road first.
Oh, okay. You want my road first?
Yeah, I want your road first.
Dude, I want the Stelvio. I went with the Beatles, and you went with some band that I didn't know. And here's why. So yes, there are 48 switchbacks through the Stelvio, but it's not just switchbacks. If you look online, I'll send you, I'll send you the Google map and a couple things. Everyone kind of knows the Stelvio. It is on a lot of the top lists, but Rob, there's a reason why everyone thinks the Beatles are the best band, because this is the best road, and you got to start here. You're comparing everything to the Beatles. You're comparing everything to the Stelvio. There's so much history around this road. I'm going for not just the experience. I'm also going for the story, and that's part of why I've chosen the car to pair with, and which we'll get to next. But go ahead.
See, I don't. It sounds like you just want the photo at the top of the pass.
Well,
the iconic photo.
I'm picking up what you're putting down, and I know that there's a lot of people that go to the Dragon that just want the photo of their car in front of the metal dragon at the end of the Tail of the Dragon.
Guilty
But there's also something about like going to that, and yes, the Stelvio, it's iconic, just like the Dragon. There's gonna be a time during the day, even if that time, Rob, in fact, I'd even say the time would be the best to bump the Eurobeats at 2 a.m. and hit the Stelvio.
You're going to have to be on it at like 2 a.m. to miss all the cyclists.
It's either like 2 a.m. or, before dawn, right? But that's I'd even say that's even more of a reason to do it, because you're going to get, screw the coffee. You're going to go and you're going to get a double espresso in some nice little Italian village right at the bottom of the Stelvio. And you're going to bomb up that thing, and you're going to watch the sunrise before anybody else is on it. And you're going to hit all 48 of those. And there's some sweepers at the bottom. Check it out. There's some sweepers down at the bottom. And I have paired a car. Yes, they are switchbacks. I have paired a car that you are going to be loving life. And no, it's not a Miata. It's not a Miata, but it is, you're damn straight, it's a short wheelbase car that's going to eat up those switchbacks.
I just see, all right. Even at 2 a.m., you want to know how many photos are on Google, right? And, you go to Google Maps, and it's got 13,000, Dylan, 13,000. And let me add this to the mix. The pass is only open for like 4 months of the year when it's not covered in snow. So all the people, it's like climbing Mount Everest. All the people that want to get on this road are all jammed in this little season. It's gonna be 2 a.m. You're gonna come around Hairpin, and there's gonna be some family in their like Mercedes, camper van, living the van life.
I will say that in this theoretical dream scenario, I didn't realize that you would be arguing traffic. But in the situation that is
key. You cannot leave that out of any road.
I'm not saying that you can't. I'm just saying this is a dream sequence. So I didn't really have this prepared too much. But no, I'm going to argue that. I'm going to argue a couple different things.
The only dream is that it's the road and the car.
It's empty.
No, you don't get it empty.
No, it's fine. No, I understand.
Comes.
As it comes. I get it. But I've seen so many segments of people go up this road without traffic, so it's alluring.
Top Gear shut the road down. Come on.
It wasn't just Top Gear. There was a recent, I think it was Haggerty that went up it with a new Ferrari.
I wonder if it was the road too.
I'm pretty sure that was the Stelvio that did. But regardless, you're going to be able to hit that road and check it off your bucket list. You don't have to be one of the 14,000 people to upload your photo to Google Maps. but
you will be.
But there's also a lot of history about that road.
That's fair.
It's always in the Giro d'Italia. Like it's iconic.
I won't argue with you there.
I would love to see the Beatles live. No, I'm not going to choose some like random band I've never heard of to see live because, it's going to be a big crowd to see the Beatles because it's the Beatles.
The Beatles live, but you're going to see them at the Wells Fargo Center in the nosebleeds.
But if you go and you pay the money, if you go at the right time, I'm telling you, the Eurobeats bump in at 2. Actually, it's not going to be Eurobeats. It's going to be like Italian fusion jazz or something.
Italian fusion jazz
at like 2 a.m. or early in the morning. You get up at like 3 a.m. and you hit the pass and you have some double espresso after it. It's going to be a moment in time that you're going to remember for the rest of your life.
I'm going to need that espresso beforehand for that 2 a.m. drive.
Yeah. It's one of those things where you're either going to hit it at the very end of your day at 2 a.m. or it's going to be the first thing you do at like 3:30 a.m.
Yeah. All right. That's true. Both scenarios, I'm going to need caffeine.
Both scenarios require a vast amount of caffeine. It's either like Red Bull, Dragon, at the very end of the day, got to like wake it up, or you're having a double shot of espresso.
I'm not going to argue that incredibly iconic. I mean, probably the road in the entire world, the most iconic, and beautiful, absolutely breathtaking. I mean, you're in the Alps, like it's insane. Also, I believe highest elevation of any paved road, like 7,000 feet, 7,500 feet.
I think it gets up to 9,200,
which is incredible. You're gonna be like lightheaded after all that caffeine ripping up there.
Elevation 9,045 feet.
Good God, that is incredible. I mean, that's nuts. That's nuts. I hope you pick a turbocharged car because you're gonna be really down on power.
I'm gonna say, Rob, it's gonna come down to our cars. So why don't you go ahead and tell me what you're pairing? This is just like a fine wine. What cheese are you pairing with your lovely wine of a road?
I went through a few on this. This was probably harder than the road because I'm still mixed on it. Right. I started and I'm immediately like, all right, 718 Spider manual bucket seats, right? New Porsche, like it's a perfect sports car. It does no wrong. And I was like, wait, like, it's an incredible car, but is it like that special, right? For the ultimate drive. So I was like, let me think about some unattainium, right? And also, right, rally. Because the other thing that I didn't mention, hold on. What?
No.
What really inspired this? like is the Monte Carlo rally. Like I love those stages in playing those in video games and whatnot, and like it's so iconic. So that's why I was like Italy, and then I went to Spain. I was like, let's go up to Italy. All right, so rally car, And I don't want any all-wheel drive bullshit. I want rear-wheel drive.
You're
oh no. So all right. So then I was at the Lancia Stratos.
Okay,
a 74 Lancia Stratos.
Yep.
With the 2.4 liter Ferrari Dino V6. It's like an incredible car. But
yep, it is.
Okay, but you can see you're just so stressed. Then I realized I'm gonna be in this car for hours. Right? Hours doing, doing
really
my
need
driving.
A modern version of that
I go
car.
out in Toge, I'm out for years. Okay, so Stratos, I was like, maybe Stratos is out. I'm gonna be lightheaded from like fumes. It's gonna be like hot as hell in there, no AC.
Yep, it's a race car basically.
Okay, it's a race car. So I came to my medium, which is the Exige S V6 Roadster.
Okay.
That's where I think that's my sweet spot. It's
okay.
A size in between the two. I wanted something narrower.
I have a huge sigh of relief, and you're about to find out why. Crisis of relief.
I think I can predict what you're going for, but I'll wait. Yeah. I'll wait. I think the Exige is perfect. It's the V6 one's got the power that and the sound I think you'd be missing in the 4-cylinder models. 345 horse, 2,600 pounds, but it's still an Exige. It's still really small. 8 inches narrower than the 718, so it's going to perform well on those little roads, and it's got the modern crap. It's got AC. It probably doesn't work that well, but it has it. Suspension's probably going to handle everything really nicely, and it's a Lotus. Like, it's an incredible driving machine, and I wanted the top down experience.
Okay,
so that's where I'm at.
You're checking a lot of boxes there. And you made me a little nervous, and I'm sure you're going to be able to guess what I did. But yeah, let's talk. I'll talk you through my cheese to my fine wine of a road. So kind of like you, this probably was a little more difficult. I knew I was choosing the Beatles of these roads. I did know that up front. That wasn't like on the fly. And I had a feeling that
the 718 is definitely the Beatles of the cars.
Yeah, I did not choose the Beatles of the cars. Because so initially I was thinking, okay, we're in Italy. It's got to be a Ferrari. It's got to be. You got to pair
a
Ferrari. You can't. I'm not gonna drive up the Stelvio Pass in a German, 2-door coupe. I'm just not. I can't do that. I'm also not gonna do it in some British go-kart. All right, I'm not gonna do it. It's gotta be. It's got to be Italian. And this is actually, for me, I didn't choose this. I didn't finalize my choice until I came up with the car. The car, for me, put it over the edge. I was actually debating
went car
this.
then road.
No. I was like, well, I came up with the roads first.
Okay.
But me pairing with this car was like, it put it over the edge. Because you're not wrong. There's a lot of switchbacks. And my thought did go to, at one point, cool rally car, that would be awesome. But any
hydraulic
length of time,
murder some cyclists,
yeah, absolutely. But if this is like some sort of like relatively realistic dream here, yeah, I'm gonna die in that car, whether it's me just like fainting from dehydration or like just not gonna be able to like.
Oh,
move
I already
afterwards.
wrote. That's already planned in mine. I'm gonna perish on this road.
So that's out. But then I remembered something. Rob, there is a new... You want to talk unatanium? There is a new Lancia Stratos that they have redone. It's $500,000, and it looks just as good as the original. And guess what? It is powered by your favorite engine. It's powered by a Ferrari engine, and it's got the same awesome like visor windshield, wraparound windshield.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
It's got 500 horsepower. It's like 2,700 pounds. It is everything you want in a car to go up that road. And what I mean by that is, it's switchbacks, but it is a short wheelbase. It looks like a modern. Just envision the Lancia Stratos as a car today. That's what they did. They captured it. It's amazing. You're going to have AC. You're going to have 570 some odd horsepower going up that pass.
Okay, wait, so which one is it? Is it because now I see there's multiple of these that have been done because the world loves. Okay, so is it the the Stratos F430 mix
engine. Yeah.
Or because I remember there was a 458 mixed with a Stratos as well, like 5 years back.
No, this is like it's called, I believe, New Stratos is what they're calling it. I just sent you the company's website.
Okay, let me get in there. Some Stratos resto mod news I'm unaware of here.
Yeah, and this is relatively new. It first of all, one of the best looking cars of all time.
I see. This is the one I was familiar with, but I think I saw it when they had their first car like put together.
First iteration. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't realize that they were really going through with it.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what? They'll probably sell them because it's resto mods and the ultra rich are everywhere now.
And so that's it. It's a 4.3 V8 from Ferrari. So that's what put it over the edge for me. And
that's a good
I can
pick.
attack this road.
And now I'm jealous because now I realize that I missed my ultimate pick, which would be a Singer DLS. Damn.
I mean, I went absolute ultimate on this.
You did. I should have went Singer DLS. Singer DLS would have been. Damn it. That's the one.
It would have missed your top down. It wouldn't have top down.
That's true, but I don't give a crap. Singer DLS is
so here would be my opening argument to you, even if you went with the Singer. My opening argument to you is you are pairing two very different flavors. Yes, they're good in their own right, but mine go together like chocolate and peanut butter. This is the perfect pair. Like, you know, your flavors are good, but this is the ultimate combo. You're talking about like just passion on top of passion, man. You're talking about just peak Italian design, peak Italian engine to a peak Italian road. It doesn't get better than this. It doesn't. So that's why I think I have the edge over you. And you could even pivot to the Singer. It's cool, awesome. Dude, you could even argue that it's a better car. That's fine. That's fine. The passion that road has is in the car. It's of the same story. It's of the same country. It's that's it.
I'm going to start here.
Okay.
I do believe New Stratos is being made by a bunch of British guys.
I don't see the point in why that's the case. That does. You know what? Singers.
It's an Italian
being made
body
in America
with an Italian chassis and a bunch of Brits putting it together. So
it sounds like an F1 team. Actually, is what it sounds like.
It's like Brabus or something.
Yeah, it sounds just like an F1 team.
All right, I respect the pick. Okay. I respect the pick. I think your road leaves you short.
I think my car is strong, and I think your road is strong. I think is what we're coming down to. I think I will admit, the busyness. Everyone knows the Beatles. You know, it's a little overplayed. And you've got the underground band with the cool factor. I get it. Yeah, you got me there.
Here's my also to keep harping on the busyness. Stelvio Pass doesn't have. It's not a 2-lane road. Like, it doesn't have a center divider.
Oh no.
So you're automatically like just afraid.
That is going to be
up a notch.
Yeah, that's going to be a 7/10 road.
And I'm not interested in that. Am I in this perfect vision? I'm driving 10/10 on this road. I'm driving like a maniac.
Why am I not?
And I've got 2 lanes, so I have a lesser chance of dying doing that.
I disagree. You're driving 10/10 and you're saying you're gonna have a lesser chance of no way.
Yeah, and you're co-driving, reading out the, like 50 meters, turn 5, 100 meters, hairpin left, don't cut. That's what we're
I've got the whole headset on.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Oh man.
Absolutely.
I don't know if I can fully concede because I just think my pairing is just so good. It's just so good, dude. It's not that yours isn't, but it's a match made in heaven. For full transparency's sake, this is maybe, to continue my music analogy, this is probably the Beatles to the Stones. I was going to go with the Nürburgring because I need to get on that road. And technically speaking, that is an open road.
Technically speaking, that is a road. I think it's a cop-out.
Oh yeah. This classic underground like music enthusiast saying, picking the Stones is a cop out. Just gonna destroy that analogy here. Just overplay it. No, but I almost picked that, and I was thinking about a German car to pair that with. I hadn't gotten there yet. But as soon as I figured out that modern Stratos had a Ferrari engine in it, and I'm like, oh, this is just too perfect.
I'm gonna throw in here. I think also we come from it from different places because one of the things that I love about Backroads and Toge is the exploration of it. Mm-hmm. So like for me, I'm gonna be on that road, and then I'm gonna drive just a bunch of other random roads I found on Google Maps near there, which is why I threw in that B road there.
I was not prepared to do that.
5134. So like for me, that's why. The XE is going to be reliable. It has a Toyota engine. It's a modern car, right? And it's going to be comfortable enough to drive all day. And I'm going to get that where I find this road. There's nobody on it. No one uses it. No one even talks about it on the internet, but I know, and I'm on it for that perfect experience.
Yeah. There is something magical about being on a road alone for a long period of time and just having that moment to yourself.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be driving at 1010 still. I'm overdoing that on the road, period. I feel like I got away with something doing that at the Dragon, and I'm not interested in doing that again. But that aside, there's something magical about that for sure. Now, I don't know anything, so I can't argue that road isn't totally dead. If I wanted to make that argument, I would have definitely.
That's true. That's true. I don't have much evidence to support my claims, other than hopping through the Google Maps Street View. I did not see any other traffic.
Yeah, that's something. It's not nothing. What I would have done in that situation, I would have probably picked
Street View right now.
Some
traffic.
road.
Stelvia Pass. I'm looking at it right now. First one I see. Oh, okay. In this image, I see a motorcyclist in front of him, an Audi A4, late 2000s, and to the left of him, definitely a 718 Spider passing the Audi. And then down the road, just 50 meters, I see three more cars probably going slow as hell. Yeah. And that 718 Spider driver is about to blow his mind out because he's getting stuck behind people again and again.
Rob, if I'm not mistaken, there's a bad time to hit the Dragon.
Yeah, no, there is a bad time to hit the Dragon, and that's why. In
fact, that's the majority of the time,
right? And I wouldn't even. And if someone was like, "What's the best road in North Carolina?" It wouldn't be the Dragon. The Dragon is special in the same way Stelvia is because it is so well known. It is a special, it's so unique, right?
Yeah.
And you can't it unique and well known, and it has. Whatever, all of that going for it, but it isn't the best road down there, and half of the reason why it isn't the best is because of the traffic. And traffic is dangerous, especially on the Dragon.
Yeah. I see. I think we just have two different perspectives on it, because I definitely agree there are quote unquote more enjoyable roads down there, but you got to check that off your list. If you're just going to say, hey, yeah, it's this random back road near the Dragon, it's okay, cool. But I want to check that off the box. I want to check off, driving the Dragon. Everybody's got to experience the Dragon if you're going to be down there. So let us know down below. Break this tie. I'm all for Italian passion. The non-Italian just ripping off his shirt, screaming Italy. It was me in this segment. That's what I was doing. Oh yeah. Proud non-Italian Italian here. Was this segment in short. Thanks, Rob. Let us know down below what would you choose, and share this with a friend. Debate a friend. Figure out, where you come from. What car would you attack your favorite road with?
All right, Dylan. So enough with your inferior road talk.
What?
I'm gonna present you with some incredible cars that you could potentially drive on this road with, I think, even more flair than your Stratos, Ferrari, Resto Mod here.
Impossible.
Frankenstein car.
Prove me wrong.
So,
Prove me wrong.
all right. For this FMK section, I've got 3 classic roadsters, and absolute classics. We're starting off. We have a 66 Lotus Elan S2. All right.
Okay.
And, just absolute beauty in yellow here. Drop top. The Elan is such a classic I'm pretty sure Gordon Murray has said, that is, the car. That is the ultimate driver's car. That's what he, bases what he builds off of from.
Okay.
So then we've got the 1966 Jaguar XKE Series 1, and this is the 4.2 liter, and it's the coupe, the hardtop coupe.
Okay.
A very different car, both British cars, same era, but totally different because it is massive in comparison. I think 3 feet longer, and you've got an engine 3 times the size. It's a straight 6.
Okay. Okay.
And now we have the outlier of the group, a 64 Honda S600. And
Interesting.
the S600, for those who are not familiar, it was Honda's foray into the United States market, and it was a motorcycle engine. I think it was their foray in the cars kind of in general, but it was one of their motorcycle engines, the 600cc engine, in a tiny car. I mean,
oh man,
pretty cool. Revs out to it's 9,000 RPM, makes 57 horsepower at 8,500, weighs 1,600 pounds. And I'll get to the stats for the other two. The Elan, 1,500 pounds, 1.6 liter twin cam in the 60s, 106 horsepower, a Fury.
Wow.
And then you've got the Brute, the XKE. This thing weighs 2,800 pounds, but makes 265 horsepower, 283 pound torque. And at the time, Motor Trend called it the fastest car they'd ever tested. Did 150 miles an hour and 0 to 67 seconds, and the quarter was 14.9. Which back then,
66.
blistering results.
Seriously, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll also say this. I do know a little bit about the S600 Honda. I believe it's their first car. Honda was a motorcycle company at the time. That's where they got a lot of their start from. And it's what the S2000 harkens back to in a lot of ways. But yeah, 9,000 RPM in 64, what? Because motorcycle engine, but very cool car from Honda there. That is interesting. Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I know the Jaguar could have went with the convertible, but I thought that's just not the shape. The shape is the coupe. So
yep,
we got the coupe
and
there.
that is a classic. Super long hood, classic Jaguar lines from the era. You still see that front grille in a lot of modern design. But I'm marrying that Lotus. It's an immediate marriage. And it's not just because Gordon Murray, a total icon of the industry, feels that way. I personally think of the 3, it's just the most Miata-like. It's why I want. No, just kidding. It's not just that. It's obviously the Miata is harkening back to cars like the Lotus Elan. But if I were to own that car full time, I'd know exactly what I'd do with it as an owner. Whereas with my Miata right now, it's too loud to, use it every day, but it's not, but it's big enough where I could use it every day, and maybe I'm just getting old, Rob. Whereas this
Those
car,
are all signs of getting old. Top signs of aging.
Top signs of aging. Well, it's just like, I think also more than anything, it's the way I've modified it, where this, I'm just going to keep it bone stock, and I'm going to enjoy it for what it is. It's a third car, and I'm just going to enjoy what's there. Plus, it's really cool that it's a Lotus.
It's a beautiful weekend cruiser right there.
It's got pop-ups. It's got those cool, I think they're a twist pop-up. Don't quote me on that. And yeah, I think of all these are all very heritage-driven cars.
Yeah.
But I think of them, this is what I'm most passionate about.
Really?
Yeah, in terms of, not necessarily like Lotus over Jag and Honda probably would be, but in terms of the genesis of a type of car, this is what I'm most interested in enjoying in a third car.
Okay.
And
yeah, I do see the Elan as like the genesis of it. And this is the S2. The S1 came even earlier, and definitely the definitely like the book that many other cars are designed from.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's what I'm going to marry. Plus, the lines of that car, I'm going to enjoy looking at that car every day, and just I'm going to be a proud owner of that car. Yeah, it's. I could go on and on. I could gush. It's going to be a very happy marriage.
You'll have your little booklet out in front of the car, laminated with all the pages. And you know what, Rob? I wouldn't have to own my stinking Miata anymore. No, I just I probably just turn that car into a race car, just get rid of it. But anyway, so I'm doing that now. With these other two, this is going to be a harder choice. I'm not going to go negative here. I'm going to go positive. Which one of these, the Honda or the Jag, which one of these do I absolutely need to experience driving in my life? Mm-hmm.
Another top-down car that's tiny. Like, this is K car, if not smaller size in the Honda.
Pretty much K car size. Or
I would say the genesis of Jag, right? I mean, you could argue a couple different other cars. I would say one of, the iconic shapes of Jaguar. Oh man. Because I can't lead with thinking about having to crush one of these cars, so I have to go positive and think about what do I have to experience one time in my life. And I think I'm going to have to go Jag because it's that different of an experience. You got an inline six. You've got
it's a heavier school inline six.
Yeah, a tractor engine, aka.
Yeah.
And just a car that I've never come close to experiencing. Yes, I wouldn't say I have come that close to the Honda, but with the Lotus, you're not that far away from it, and it's not
true.
Night and day. This is a totally different thing that I've. The only thing that probably would come close, and it doesn't come that close, to be perfectly honest, is 240Z that I've driven. Similar shape, long, stretched out front hood.
Okay.
Inline six,
but
but
it definitely shares some stuff because you're sat on the rear axle on that.
Yeah, but nowhere near this. Especially, I mean, this is so much older and very different. Yeah, I would have to. I'd have to taste that one time, Rob. I'd have to go out and understand what Motor Trend was on about.
A little taste.
And have a little taste of that. You know what I'm saying? And that means, sorry, Honda, that I'm crushing the genesis of your entire brand.
Poor little car.
I'm crushing your entire company's history. I'm sorry.
Maybe I should put like the 2000 GT in there or something.
Oh man, you're gonna make it real hard. Like.
I mean, that's like the Japanese E-Type.
Yeah,
and
that
total unobtainium
segment. Yeah, I mean, if it's just making it really difficult. You know what, Rob? I think we're overdue for like a bad make it hard segment. I think that might be on my radar for the near future. Because then I can just want to crush it all and not feel terrible about crushing one of these cars. But no,
yeah, they've all been too good recently.
Yeah, I think I would be really excited to own that Lotus, though.
Okay.
Full time. And it's probably, I think it might even be like the the cheapest of the three. None of these cars are what I would consider to be cheap by any means, but
I mean, the Elan and the Honda are easily obtainable, I would say. I think both are hanging in the 30s. Like that,
in the 30s.
The one that the Bring a Trailer one I sent you, the S2, $33,000 it sold for.
It's actually not
28,000 miles on the clock.
super unreasonable, unobtainium by any means.
It's pretty affordable, for a weekender. Mm-hmm. And I think S600s are about there too.
Mm-hmm.
I think at that price though, I would definitely want the Lotus.
Yeah. Okay. So would that be your Mary as well?
No. So here's my thing. The Elan, is an icon, but the Jaguar is too beautiful. I love the E-Type so much. The lines are exquisite. They're amazing. And
cool car.
the sound of that like old school straight six is incredible. Yeah, so I'm marrying the E-Type. The E-Type is so cool. That's my like weekender. That's my like cars and coffee car. That's
I could see you then ending up to choose to crush the Lotus because that Honda is kind of wild with the motorcycle.
I'm driving the Lotus one time.
You're driving the Lotus,
the S600, I think.
Okay.
Just because like it is the Elan, like it is that like super iconic driving experience. Mm-hmm. So I want to know what that's like. And I mean, I'm sure the S600 is definitely super unique.
I'm sure it's
in its
cool.
own right. I'm
sure it's cool. It's to me that's like a recipe that I can relate to today. Oh, a super tiny convertible that revs to the moon. Cool. Yeah. I can picture myself driving that.
I've driven a Beat before.
Yeah. I have no idea what that E-Type's like. I have no frame of reference. I got to know what that's like.
Yeah.
So that has to be driven
really different there.
Or married, right? And then the Lotus is just, I would be so happy to be around that car all the time.
Hey, I hear you. Wish I could argue more. They're all good choices.
Yeah. So what about you all listening? What would you choose? Share this with a friend, debate each other, lose a friendship over it, and tell them why they're wrong. No, just kidding.
It's just
let us know.
Experience, truly.
It is. It's a religious experience. No, but let us know what you would choose down below.
Dylan, you've been ranting and raving about the new BRZ and its shortcomings.
I have.
And it's getting me down. Because I want to have faith in it. I want one. It's sad. What's the
I've
deal?
been shook. I've been shook because Rob and the reason why I've been so hurt, the reason why I have such trauma surrounding this car is because on paper, in Gran Turismo, this is like the perfect budget sports car.
Yeah.
Right? You have a ton of R&D around a platform that's light, was really cared for, and now we're on the second generation, so the flaws of the torque dip being solved have been corrected, and
looks way better.
It looks way better, and it's just this is on
it's
paper,
the driver's car. It's the affordable driver's car.
Yeah.
I think maybe over the Miata.
It is
in a lot of ways.
The David to the Goliath that is like all expensive sports cars, right? This is the little engine that could. It's the one that you want to root for. But I just can't do it anymore. Because I don't mind the partnership. It's not necessarily that I'll choose companies partnering together if it means we get sports cars. If the option is no sports cars or partnerships between companies to get sports, let's partner up, baby. Mm-hmm. Everybody buddy up. But Subaru is just, I have zero respect for that company anymore when it comes to engines and reliability. Yeah, you've had a lot of silliness happen recently with like WRXs and STIs. on YouTube, just like dying and blowing up. You know, you had one with Donut. I think they went through like 5 or 6 engines.
Yeah, if you haven't seen that, guys, that series is awesome. Is the Donut high-low track build series with WRXs.
Yep.
It's hilarious.
And then you also had a comparison. I think it was Savage Geese that did a comparison that included an STI, and it was a bespoke, like hand-built in STI's
it was a special edition.
Yep.
Like final best STI.
Yep.
Which actually had a lot more crap done to it than I thought. I thought it was just like some badging, but it was track ready. It was supposed to be like track ready,
and it didn't last 3 laps, Rob.
Yeah.
It didn't last, and this is hand built by them. It was bone stock. Didn't last 3 laps. And Subaru
which is
struck
abysmal
again
because they've been making that engine for ages.
Ages. and Subaru struck again, and they've ruined yet another the next iteration, and that is the fact that it's come to light that let me back up a little bit.
I can't take it anymore. I can't take it anymore. I'm gonna. BRZ engines are blowing up on the track.
Yeah, and but people, the thought was too much RTV. It's getting in the oil feed,
right.
and that's starving the engines.
First, people were finding like RTV when they drained their oil, like chunks of it. They thought it was filling up, like clogging the pickup. So where the engine sucks oil to get pumped back up into the engine, is getting clogged by RTV.
Wrong.
Probably not it. Maybe sometimes.
Definitely not it. They just oil sloshing around on right-hand turns, and the engines are starving for oil, and it's a designed flaw with the engine. So now you have a YouTube video or two out there of somebody on track with sensors in their oil showing the oil pressure dropping on right-hand turns. And that is now most likely the culprit of these engines going kaput. And I'm just very frustrated and deflated about this because I really wanted this car to win and do well. But you know what? At the end of the day, Toyota just should have done the engine. Because imagine this, Rob. Imagine that similar power and all that stuff. But imagine the new version from Toyota's black top. Epic heritage with that Beams engine, dude. Just a modern take on that. How
Toyota
cool would that be?
Toyota could have made a much better engine for this car.
How cool would that have been?
A much better engine.
And I have no faith in Subaru anymore.
I mean, Toyota even had, like the, I'm blanking on it, but VVTi engines from the Celica GTS of, sort of recent memory, which was also in the Elise. Good engines.
They even have I think it was on Gears and Gasoline. They just swapped a more modern Camry engine into their MRS. And with some fiddling with the cams, they're making like 240 wheel horsepower out of this Camry engine.
More than that. The MR2 swap guys who put in the Toyota GR V6s, I think, is the first two.
This was a 4-cylinder, is what I'm referencing.
Okay, I got you.
But there's 6 cylinders out there too. But just take that engine. It's already there. People are doing the hot rod version of it. Do that from Toyota and throw this thing in there, and you've got like a near perfect budget car. And it's just it's too flawed for what it is today.
Inline 4 of theory would be much better, but I don't think Toyota has anything in the bin. So like it would have been. They couldn't afford to develop it. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I get that. I mean, what I'm saying is the engine's there. People are hot rodding it right now. I don't think it would take a ton of R&D to hot rod it themselves, because the engine itself, they got the blueprint for it. It was really just like in Gears and Gasoline's build video, they didn't touch the bottom end. It's bone stock bottom end. It's really like an engine that was designed about having great gas mileage, but you change around the timing a little bit, and that gas mileage becomes horsepower, basically. You kind of just trade for it.
But it's not a direct injection engine, is it?
I believe it is.
Oh, it is. Okay.
Yeah, it's a modern engine. It's a modern Camry.
It's a modern engine. Okay.
Yeah. No, this isn't some old black top that I'm referencing here.
Right.
Old,
I was
Beams
thinking
engine. This is
a lot
modern,
of people swapping those Celica GTS engines into the MRS.
No, this is like a more modern engine. I'll try to find it before we end this segment here. But
anyway, it's so the person who's been heading it and gotten a lot of coverage is this guy on YouTube, 900 BRZ, who's just an owner and who does a lot of track days, and he took real data collection. I think he has a background in engineering, and it's super, super clear the car drops oil pressure dramatically on right-hand turns. So, you're at a nominal 60 PSI, right-hand turn, you're down to 30, like over and over and over again. And, a lot of people have blown motors, and at first Toyota wasn't, it was Subaru that wasn't replacing them. And Toyota was. Yep. And I think now that the one of those cases got, thrown across the internet and got the rage of the online community, Subaru now is replacing that guy's motor. Yep. But, is that going to happen for everyone? Does everyone have to throw a fit? And I mean, who wants it to happen in the first place? You made a car that is basically designed to be used by enthusiasts, going to be used on track, and it's not ready. Like, it doesn't seem like...
Well, and isn't Toyota, like, with the car comes a free year of, like, SCCA membership or something like that, where they are, like, promoting track use for this car.
Yeah.
So to go back, the engine that I'm referencing...
Yeah, you get a free 1 year NASA.
You get a free 1 year of NASA. There you go. Yeah. So the engine that I'm referencing is the 2AR from the Toyota Camry Hybrid of all things. It's 2.5 liter 4-cylinder from them. And their final numbers to the wheels after dynoing this with their Haltech and like their little fiddling with the cams and the timing was 228 horsepower to the wheels.
Shoot.
So it's like...
That's serious.
They've got that in the wings. Imagine...
Right, it's in a current Toyota's car. It's meeting emissions regulations currently.
Today. Yeah.
It's fuel
imagine
injected.
The GR team from Toyota breathing
with a little
on that.
R&D on that. And it's like, you know what, Subaru, we'll just give you the engine, all right? You guys tried. You clearly suck at making engines.
We've done everything anyway. You've ridden on our coattails with the great chassis that we've designed. Just step aside, and we'll take care of the engine as well.
Yeah. I think also, like, people, the flat engine design, right, has its theoretical benefits. Predominantly being the lower center of gravity. At least that's the marketing ploy. But we already, it's not an inherently terrible design because, I mean, Porsche, when they started their water-cooled flat engines in 97, those engines blow up. They blow up on track too much, more than you should be comfortable with a $25,000 rebuild. But they fixed it. By 2010, when they went to direct fuel injection, like, those new engines since then, they work. They don't blow up. Yeah. They make great power. So, like, what's the deal, Subaru? And Subaru, you're making them in. You put flat engines in everything. You have higher volume than Porsche.
Yep.
Why can't you make something that works? Works. And also, Porsches are going a lot faster. They're doing a lot higher Gs, and they're not braking.
Yeah, and they're not oil starving on right-hand turns.
Yeah.
At 1 plus G. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, in this guy's video series, he already did the first leg of development, which the theory was that oil was kind of sloshing forwards into the timing cover. And if you think about a flat engine, how it's different from a vertical or a V, the timing covers... Theoretically, you could have all the oil kind of slide forward into this timing cover, which is a big open space, inside of the engine, and oil could like kind of fill up in that area. Or you go around a turn and all of it's chunked over on one side, which is where the oil pickup that's pumping, it can't get to the oil. It's going to be gone. So they put baffles in there to stop the oil from sloshing all in there. It didn't help at all. Yeah, which is a bummer because it's
disappointing. I will say this in somewhat of a defense of Subaru: if it is if a fix like that somewhat simple fix. Does solve the problem. Okay. You know, why did it take R&D from an independent company to do this?
Especially
is
when
still
it's your
egregious.
second generation car.
Yeah.
I mean, the FA24 is, I believe, a pretty new architecture or new design from Subaru.
It is.
But
it was new with this chassis.
Yeah. But it's not like, it's not completely different. Like, it's not a totally different engine.
And it's been years. I mean, when did this come out?
I mean, like, you know, direct injection, not direct injection, whatever, like, oiling has been the same process. Like, it's mostly the same process it's been for 30, 40 years. So, like, you know, what's the deal? I'm hopeful that they sort it out. I'm hopeful that they sort it out and we see the 2025 production run or 2026 production run, like, they fixed it and you can get a car from the factory that's fixed. Yeah. Or at least the aftermarket community has sorted it out and you buy the car and you just immediately do those mods before you take it on track. It's
just this. Yeah. This car has been out for a decade. We shouldn't be having these problems. I understand they revised the engine. It's making more power. That's great. Good job. Good job, Subaru. Here's a sticker. I'm going to immediately take back that sticker because it has oiling.
I'm going to remind you that the Miata had the same problem. The latest ND generation Miata 2016, not the same problem, but it had a similarly chronic problem, which was the transmissions blowing up. Second gear would blow up on like all of them. And so autocross guys, which every run just slam in the second, were breaking transmissions, which it sucks. It shouldn't happen. They've been making manual transmissions for however long. Like, don't you know how to make one? But within like 1 or 1.5, production years, they fixed it. And if you break it, they put a new one in for you. That has the revisions and all is fine and dandy, and no one's breaking those.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's why Moz is the bomb because they're faithful and strong to their enthusiast community.
To their
Mazda
core.
forever.
Mazda forever. That's awesome. But yeah, I think that would be the BRZ/GT86 would be such a slam dunk with just a conventional 4-cylinder from Toyota, like that Camry engine that's hopped up from, in my opinion.
I agree. But think about this. What's stopping you? All the sleeves open. All the sleeves open is just endless swap opportunities. I've been cooking up so many, Dylan. I'm like, all right, buy blown BRZ. What engine can I put in it? I've got so many ideas.
Well, here's actually a good question for you. That would be awesome. Here's a good question. So I know some categories are like this, and Grid Life's no different. It's funny that I'm literally wearing a Grid Life shirt right now. In street class, I believe it is, the one that Ben Thorne from Gears and Gas raced in for a number of years with his Honda Civic, they allow engine swaps within manufacturer in that class. So what Ben Thorne did was...
I thought they had the K-Swap Miatas running in that class. Or are they not in that class?
Not in that class.
Oh, okay.
Not in that class.
I hear you.
But yeah, so he swapped to a K, and it was allowed. It was very much
and
like...
then it's a power to weight limit, right? That's how they class them?
I believe in that class there still is potentially a power to weight, but it's not like it is an open wheel where it's very strict. The power to weight's super strict in that. I think the power to weight in street might not be a thing. Like that might not be part of their specs. Actually, I don't think it is because Ben took that engine to the raggedy edge in that class.
Sure, but I mean, there must be something like because someone would just walk in with like a twin turbo LS and walk everyone.
So there is
on the back
there
street.
is like force induction rules. Like you can't take a non-turbo and make it a turbo, and that sort of thing. I believe because there's like subclasses within the street class, and I also don't think you can add cylinders. So I don't think you could go to like a Honda V6 if it came with like a 4-cylinder. And that was going to be your idea because I was going to say, what's your engine in the Toyota then?
Okay, here's I think I mentioned this earlier. MR2 guys, the second gen guys who do V6 swaps, pretty much they all are using the Toyota 2GR FE V6.
Okay.
And
What's
there's a
that
couple
out of?
gens of those, but it's a sweet engine. It actually won like engine of the year, something like 2012 or 14. I think the most interesting generation of them is the 3.5 liter that would have been in like SUVs and minivans and whatnot. But because people are putting them in MR2s, they're actually doing like development on them. And one guy who I cannot remember, Wilhelm Raceworks, that's the guy's name, who's just like this engineer who just kind of has a side business doing this. He's designed cams for them. He designed headers, cast headers even, which is pretty impressive. Intakes. Anyway, he's been able to juice up one with E85 up to like 380 wheel NA.
That's awesome.
Which is seriously impressive.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That to me sounds way more enticing than an LS. A, because everybody's, swapped an LS into that car.
Yeah.
And B, it's Toyota. That's really cool. That's
Toyota.
really cool. Toyota.
They're awesome sounding engines. I think one of the coolest things about that engine is it has, for some of the years, both port injection and direct injection, which is like really like the holy grail for like a performance motor, because the direct injection allows you to run like crazy high compression ratios and still run pump gas. But the port injection gets your cleaning done of your valve train.
Yep.
And it also allows you to easily upgrade your fuel system. Like a lot of modern cars, like upgrading direct injection high pressure systems are difficult. The aftermarket isn't really there. But for port injection, it is. So you just throw bigger port injectors in. There's your fuel you need. The direct injection helps you get... It's a cool motor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's what I put on my BRZ.
And on that note, that's the solve, right? Right, everybody?
Easy. All right, let's start our company. 2GR swap, or what do we call that? K swap, GR's G swap. No, it sounds weird. All right, we'll work out the company name and we'll get that going.
Absolutely, let's do it. A good excuse to have one of the ultimate driving machines. I honestly, I think those two things tied together would be pretty epic driving wise.
Any angel investors out there for us?
Comment down below.
Please, comment down below, or just DM us, whatever I'll send you anything.
Awesome. Anything else, Rob, on your end before we wrap yet another edition?
I still want one. I still want a BRZ. I don't know. They'll sort it out. I still want one.
I think if they sort that out, it's such a great engine. It's such a great car. Such a terrible engine. I don't know if I could get over the engine though. Even if
it also sounds like crap, man. At least stock. I mean, it's like bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And on that bombshell, thanks for listening. Share this show with a friend or two. And anything on your end, Rob?
No, I don't know. We're going to keep them coming, But thanks for listening, guys.
Thanks a lot. Stay tuned. More to come.
Later.